What is a spiritual enlightenment? More importantly, we're doing a deep dive today into how you can become more spiritually enlightened using the law of attraction. Make sure to watch all the way to the end of this video because I'm going to be giving you a powerful technique to boost your manifesting abilities. First things first, your spiritual journey is unique. Don't let anyone else tell you anything different. Don't fall prey to the pressures of having your spiritual journey look like anyone else's. Hey everybody, welcome to Elevated Minds. You're floating on cloud 9 with other elevated humans who want to manifest all their dreams. This is the place that helps you to go deeper into your law of attraction journey and spiritual awakening using your subconscious mind and law of attraction techniques. All right, let's jump right in and get started with the video. The first, most important aspect is recognizing that you might be living in ego. Honestly, most people you know are probably living in ego. To become more spiritually enlightened, you'll need to recognize what being in ego looks like. You'll recognize it as stress, self-doubt, anger, and frustration. When you're living in this state of awareness, you can't manifest. Some of us manifest a little, but then we feel frustrated that we're not reaching a certain level of success while others around us seem to be doing it easily. Either way, this means you're in resistance about something. And we know that we're truly not able to manifest what we desire when we're living in ego or we're in resistance about something. Does your ego get in the way of you accomplishing your goals and your dreams? You be the judge, but let me say this. Your body never lies. Look inward and identify how your body feels. Do you feel peaceful or do you feel anxious? Do you feel calm and joyful or do you feel worried and stressed? You can clearly notice when your body is feeling stressed and anxious. When you notice this uncomfortable feeling, you know that you have some inner work to do. Science has been studying the mind and the body for centuries, and what we know is that there is a deep connection between the level of health and fitness that we experience in our human lives when we're living in ego or not. Instead of associating ego with those detrimental personal traits that you'd rather not look at, you could associate a strong ego with a strong character and values that are associated with kindness and love. With a developed ego, you learn to have a healthy sense of self, and this is the goal. But we notice that when we're not spiritual and we're living in the ego, that we struggle with happiness. Aside from becoming more spiritually aware, we know a healthy sense of self helps us to become the person of character that we prefer to be. And of course, it helps us to manifest better too. Now that you understand how important it is to watch your ego and to practice noticing how your body feels, let's begin discussing the actual steps of how you can become spiritually awakened. The first step is what has been referred to as the 555 method. There are 3 components to this method. The first is meditation, next is movement, and finally it's intention. Becoming more spiritually awakened doesn't stop here though. I'll explain the 555 method. Then I'll go deeper into the other steps that you can begin working on throughout your day on your own spiritual journey. Now, the studies on meditation are extensive, and I'll do a video in the future of what I personally noticed when I meditated for 30 days straight. You can't see or touch stress, but you can feel its effects on your mind and your body. In the short term, stress has been known to make our bodies ill, with heart attacks and strokes, just to name a few. When you're constantly under stress, your adrenal glands overproduce the hormone cortisol. Overexposure to this hormone can affect the function of your brain, your immune system, as well as other organs you can't see. Chronic stress can contribute to headaches, anxiety, depression, heart disease, even premature death, and definitely your spiritual awakening and your abilities to manifest what you want. Meditation is thought to work through its effects on the sympathetic nervous system with increased heart rate, breathing, and blood pressure through times of stress. Yet meditating has a spiritual purpose too. Now, our world is undergoing a tremendous transformation right now, and so many people are dealing with a great deal of stress and fear, but there is an answer. Some of it is meditation. As part of your morning practice, it's suggested to incorporate the 5-5-5 method, where you meditate for at least 5 minutes. Next is the movement. To really take part in the magic of our bodies, we must appreciate what movement can do. You don't need to go to the gym, spend 30 minutes on the treadmill, and pump some heavy iron, although that would be you up-leveling your fitness level. But what's suggested here for the 5-5-5 method is spending 5 minutes of simple movement. This movement can consist of simple, relaxing stretches, a lot like what you've seen with the practice of yoga. This is the kind of movement that will clear the toxins and send important endorphins to your brain to help you relieve stress. The final part of the 5-5-5 method, but not the final part of what you can do to become spiritually awakened, is intention. This is the last bit of 5 minutes that you can spend as part of your morning routine to help you become more spiritual. This is done by spending just 5 minutes visualizing about what you'd prefer your day to look like. It's about your intention for the day. Sadly, most of us just spend a tremendous amount of time checking our phones and social media, or just going through the motions of life, never truly connecting with what matters the most. We tend to think about what's not working in our lives. We ruminate over and over again about what's not working. We look at the relationships that we don't like, wonder why we don't have what we want. We look at how we don't have all the things we're trying to manifest and all the money in our bank account. This sadly just keeps us from manifesting what we want. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can go deeper and become more spiritually enlightened by creating a daily routine using this simple 5-5-5 method. Now, let's look at other practices that could help you throughout your day with your spiritual awakening. Have you ever heard of immersion? Immersion is something that we can do to absorb deeper that which we prefer to know. We've seen this with studying, for example. We send our children off to schools or universities to immerse themselves in the experience of learning. There's really no replacement for that experience. The same is true for immersing ourselves into a language, for example. If you wanted to learn Spanish, you might watch a Spanish television station. You might listen to a Spanish radio station. You might commit to speaking Spanish at dinner time. This is what we can do when we want to have a more spiritual awakening. Spend your time like what you're doing now by studying spirituality, studying a little more about chakras or crystals, for example. This could be religion because some people think that their spiritual awakening has to do with religion. It can for some people, but that's not what we're really talking about here. Look for books on the topic of spirituality. I remember the first book that I ever read was The Secret, and while it enhanced my knowledge on the topic, it's a very basic limitation on your ability to really manifest. It doesn't really teach you the deeper manifesting rules and laws. But we'll get into just what the real secrets are in subsequent videos. Really connect deeper with other spiritual people. This is another way for you to immerse yourself in spirituality. So we recognize how prevalent spirituality is, even in the digital age. So why not follow some spiritual accounts on social media, on Instagram, for example? You could watch a spiritual video every single day. You could read a few chapters in a book about spirituality. You see, there are so many different ways that you can immerse yourself in spirituality for the purpose of becoming more spiritually awakened. Now, breath work is also another active form of meditation where you manipulate your breath to quickly change the way you feel. And we know that our feelings are really a key component to our spiritual awakening. Breath work is the one magical tool in my wellness toolkit that I can always rely on whenever I'm feeling stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, or feel a full-blown panic attack, especially during this global crisis that we're all experiencing. If you're new to meditating, or you just can't seem to vibe with regular mindful meditation, breath work is a great alternative technique to try. And the benefits have been reported to include decreased stress, increased mental clarity, and even elevated mood. When you shift your breathing to abnormal breathing, using your diaphragm, your body enters into a relaxed state. It's not hard to do and is such a simple way to enhance your 555 method, which is why I suggest it for your spiritual awakening journey. A simple breathwork technique could be quick inhales through the nose and exhales through the mouth for 30 counts. Then hold your breath for 15 seconds and repeat the quick inhales and exhales for another 30 counts. This surge of oxygen into your body is critical for releasing toxins and more energy into your cells. It's normal to feel a tingly sensation, more alert, and maybe even a little lightheaded. There's nothing to worry about. It's all part of the journey of your body really moving into that place of connecting with your spiritual journey. Now for the powerful manifesting technique that I promised you in the beginning of this video. This extremely powerful manifestation technique that has been responsible for allowing me to have just about everything that I have ever asked for is called scripting. Now, some people say that journaling is the powerful manifesting technique, but honestly, it doesn't hold the power that scripting does, and I'll share with you why and how to do it. The difference is scripting is handwriting your vision of how you prefer your life to be, as if it's already happening. This is a powerful manifestation technique that world-renowned athletes use. My favorite story is the Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps, who owns the most medals owned by any other swimmer. Not only does he use visualization techniques by closing his eyes and running through his sport, imagining himself winning, but he also scripts it out as if he's winning right now. For you to truly benefit from this technique, you'll need to be focused and quiet. You'll need a paper and pencil or pen. The important thing to understand here is your brain understands the tactile experience better than typing it in your phone or on your PC. So please do yourself a favor and write it out. Write out your visions in crystal clear, hi-fi definition as if it's happening now. You see, your brain truly doesn't know the difference between the truth and your proposed truth. When you're feeling the story as you're writing it out, your subconscious mind adapts it as the truth. Your conscious mind suddenly goes into work to make everything happen with goals and creating tasks that will get you closer and closer to connecting with who you need to connect with to make things happen and to really make all your dreams come true. Now that you've learned how to actually become more spiritually awakened, you need to take a moment to remember what it actually feels like when you're not. Remember, the key factor in knowing that you're not making headway, or at least a signal to help you to get back on track, is being in ego, being in stress, and feeling worried. But how do you know you're making strides in your spiritual journey? Well, you'll start to notice that you feel more confident, peaceful, and compassionate. You'll begin to notice good things are starting to happen all around you. You'll start to notice that your manifesting is really working. One big aspect you'll begin to notice is you'll be cued into other people's anxiety and stress more than you ever were. This is a big sign that your spiritual awakening is happening now. I'll cover in other videos how to be consistent with your spiritual journey too. So be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you'll get notified of brand new videos to help you on your spiritual journey and improving your subconscious mind so that you can begin to manifest more with your subconscious mind and law of attraction techniques. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care.